keeping this covenant. Man's had enough of it.
Trust.
My people are suffering.
Every day.
The sin that we smothered them. It seems like we loving it.
Do we?
Cause we never stopping it. My people are suffering.
Every day.
The sin that we smothered them.
More that we will be the children of Israel today. And this is something that's important because not a lot of people are aware of it. So this one in green as well. Alright? Being cursed in the city and cursed in the field. That's something that happens to us as well. You know, like I was saying, no matter what city we're in, whether we're in Brazil, France, America, Caribbean, UK, wherever we are, our people are always on the bottom. Our people are always the ones who are treated the worst, find it hardest to get jobs, we're always oppressed, people are always racist towards us, but we're actually at the same time a great people. You know, look at the best football players come from where? Come from Brazil.
Brazil.
So how is it that people that are so racist and have so much hatred towards us, yet we're so great at so many things? We're great at dancing, great at food, great at everybody. There's people that only kick football because they saw Ronaldinho and Ronaldo. Right? I'm one of them. So just read this one as well. This is about the Israelites. But said they're special. So, a povo particular. Yeah, so God's people are special, particular people, right? And that's something that happens with us. We're the best at cooking, best at dancing. You know, everybody wants to dance like a Brazilian. Definitely by far the best at football. You know, our people are the fastest, the strongest. You know, you have the best looking men, you have the best looking women. But how did God create us to do all of these things all at the same time? And this is out of love and respect. God made us that way. And God said that about the children of Israel, that he would make them that way. So that's how we know we must be the children of Israel. So, but he said that because we haven't done his commandments, he's going to put us in the bottom. That's why we don't know who we are. We call ourselves different words and different names, like Brazil. What does that even mean? We call ourselves different names that we're not really, you know, we had Native Americans there. You had people that came from slave ships there. I believe we got, look at the picture. You see people going from Africa to Brazil, Angola, Congo, that went to Brazil, right? And those people, you know, were taken on slavery on ships. And we read that, right, in verse 68, just to remind you. Oh, that's right, that the Israelites were going to slavery on ships. And that's how people got to Brazil, right, on slave ships. Right, remember this one here? On the yellow, going to slavery on ships? Yeah. So it says Egypt, but that's where the Israelites were slaves in Egypt. It's, there you shall be sold for bondmen and bondwomen. Right, that's what happened in Brazil. So that's something that we can relate to. So as the children of Israel who have sinned and have gone astray from God and have lost our connection with him because we're too involved in gangs, drugs, fighting one another, fornication, sleeping with women, doing balloons, partying. We're too involved in that, we can't really connect with God. So that's why God doesn't help us in situations a lot of the time. That's why we go through hard things, because we've lost that connection. But the great thing is we're still here. That's the mercies of God, right? I'm gonna show you that. Out of all of these sins, we're still here. Green. That's the only reason, right? And if it wasn't for that, then we would all, but God loves us so much that we're still here, because we're the salt of the earth, right? And for that reason, we need to make sure that we're giving the salt to the earth, and make sure that we are loving God and keeping his commandments, keeping his ways, right? We've been very far away from his ways. I'm gonna prove that we are the salt of the earth. What does salt do? When you sprinkle the salt, it gives it flavor, and salt also allows food to be preserved, so it lasts a very long time. the reason why this earth has lasted very long is because of us. God loves us. Because remember when he destroyed and he sent a flood in the time of Noah, and he sent fire on Sodom and Gomorrah. He could do the same thing here. And you see have you heard about the wars that are going on in Yemen and Israel, Palestine? All of these things are happening. These are the last days. So we need to make sure we come back to God, because it seems like God is ready to do something again. So this is serious times, and we don't want to, waste any time. So we want to make sure that we're following the ways of God. So I will just be here to edify you and show you that you actually be an Israelite, and that's important because God likes to give us our identity, and we want to walk in that identity that God has given us, not man, not your birth certificate, not the doctor, but God. What did He call us? He said we're the Israelites.
Sure.
So as the Israelite, we have to make sure we're not in sin anymore, so God can protect us, and we shouldn't all be divided. We should all be, as the Israelites who have gone through this slavery, be one nation of people. Come back together. That's what we need to do. And when we come back together, we need to make sure there's no sin in us. If there's sin, we're going to end up stabbing one another. And we're selling drugs to one another, taking another brother's wife. That's what we're going to do. And if we not fix up our mind first, so we're going to come away from sin. And there's certain sins as well that we don't really hear about, because when you go to certain churches, they don't tell you, about the Israelites, and who they would be today. They would say that Jesus, he would look more like this man here. But in the Bible, what does it say? In the Bible, it tells you what Jesus Christ looked like. In every Bible, it says the same thing.
It's not like this. I think this is more artistic.
Is more what, sorry?
I think this is more
Artistic, yeah.
It's not the same.
That's what the Bible says. So he was dark skinned, woolly hair,
Merino.
not like that. Yeah. So certain things, some people, they wanted to do their own thing. But go back to what God says. God's word is true. So we want to come away from sin so that we can connect with the Heavenly Father who's for us, who loves us. So certain sins, for example, we may hear about like not eating certain foods that we shouldn't eat. And I'm going to show you one of the foods that we shouldn't eat. Right? And in some churches they don't teach it, but it is something that we're meant to be keeping. Right? All of that. Right, so it's something that, there was one time I didn't know about it. I thought you could just eat anything you want. You can't just pick stuff up the floor. Ooh, that's a nice ant. That's a nice spider. And just start putting it in your frying pan. Put some salt on it, because he said, the salt of the earth. You can't just do that. You can't just eat anything. So you're not meant to be eating pigs.
Right.
Alright, they go around, that's nasty, man. You wouldn't want to eat something that does that. Right, it's not pleasant. Right?
Because your body, my body it's like a temple.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Basically, you need to carry everything.
Exactly.
You need to be healthy.
Exactly. And as our body is a temple, we were never allowed to bring swine into the temple as well. Alright, so we can't have that in the temple. And also, fish that doesn't have fins and scales. Did you read that part? So that would be prawns, lobster, crab. All those things, they eat the bacteria in the ocean. So they're meant to be cleaning up the ocean and the microorganisms. So we're not meant to be eating the things that's meant to be cleaning the ocean. I can't. It's like just telling all the dustbin drivers, oh yeah, you should never be working. Oh, the whole place would just be dirty as hell.
Sure.
So that's why the waters are dirty as hell, because of pollution and the fact that people are eating the things that are meant to be clean. God created a life cycle. This eats this eats that, this eats that. There's a food chain. So if you disrupt the food chain, you mess up the whole flow. Right? So that's why, everything is not going around anymore. The earth is just all out of order. There's no bees. There's meant to be bees. Right? In the summertime, people used to be like, oh no, bees, and everyone's running away. Summertime, there's no bees. Right? Because the birds, they're eating all the bees. Because they ain't got no food to eat. because people are messing around with the ecosystem. So now, you know, everything's all out of order. So we shouldn't be eating pork, and we shouldn't be eating, you know, the prawns, the squid, octopus, all of these things. Leave them in the ocean, let them do what they're meant to do in there, right? While we do what we're meant to do on the land, which is follow the Most High God and make sure us and our people and our children are all in order. You know, teaching our people the right way and being a good example of what it means to be a man of God and a righteous man, away from sin. So making sure that we're keeping God's laws, and God's laws are good. You know, God's laws are not something that's meant to be against us, it's for us. So we have because as a man, every man likes like a manual, instructions. Every man likes instructions and a way to live. You can't just, you know, just go with the flow, right? I'm going to show you one verse why laws are important. This is why laws are important. You're right there as well? You good? This one. So the laws is for our spirit, you know, but the flesh, you know, doesn't want to go according to the law. You know, it wants to do its own thing. So you need to make sure that we're reading, studying, that we can actually go according to the laws of God and not according to our own will and the flesh, you know, and according to, so we need to be reading, studying, we need to be around other brothers and other sisters. So, you know, in order to do that, there's certain commandments where you have to be around your brother and your sister. Let me show you that. So in the Sabbath, God said He wants to give us a Sabbath day so we can be around our brothers and our sister, so that we can get built up. Because, you know, when we're working, you know, it can get caught up, just work. But you need to spend time with your brothers so you remember that we don't worship money. Money is not our God. You know, the Most High, He's our God. And, you know, we need to give a day that we can all come together and be edified and continue in the word and get stronger with the precepts and understanding. That's what we need to do. So God gave us one day off of work where He said you shouldn't be working, and that day is a Sabbath day. That will be today, a Saturday, where we shouldn't be working. We should be keeping the commandments. We should be making sure that we are getting built up. We are studied. You know, we're in the Spirit of God. That's what the Sabbath day is for. It's a holy day, separate from every other day. Because in every other day you can work on that day, it's fine, you do your thing, you know. But on that Sabbath day, God says He wants you to take that day off. He made it for us so that we can observe it and get together, not just be at home. It's not just a rest day just to be at home, it's a rest day so that we can come together and be built up in the Spirit of God. That's the purpose of the Sabbath day. So those are just a few commandments that, you know, I showed them to say not a lot of our people are keeping that day. A lot of people, they just want money, work. You know, they just want to eat whatever they want to eat, do whatever they want to do. They want to sleep with whatever woman they want to sleep. They want to smoke with what they want to smoke. That's what our people want to do, but we need to come back to God and the commandments. So, you know, you don't smoke, do you? You said you're a man of God, so you wouldn't do that. And you respect your body and your temple.
No, alcohol, nothing.
Okay, that's good. Were you eating pork?
Before, yes. Now, no.
How about prawns? You eaten prawns before?
Yes.
Okay. So are you willing to stop that just to keep your temple clean?
Yeah. No. I just stopped not because this, but after we know what's the wrong way for eating wrong things. Yeah. But before I eat everything.
I understand. Hey, likewise, me too. But that's a very powerful thing you said. As long as if God is saying something, He's smarter than us.
Right.
He's more intelligent. So I can think, you know, what I do is the right way good to go. But God, He knows the right way to go. So that's a mighty thing that God put in your spirit, that you can know the way to go. Right? So I know you're with your child, so I don't want to keep you too long. So I'm gonna give you a card. No, not that. It's not solicitor card. It's not.
See that?
So yeah, hold it.
Thank you. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Alright,
God
take
bless
care.
you.
Alright, remember you're an Israelite. We're gonna keep the commandments. Yeah.
Bye bye. Have a good day.
Take
All
care.
praises. Oh man. Because my hands are cold, so I can't really. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Doesn't matter what language it is, man. Sister, you got 2 minutes for the Bible? You got 2 minutes? What country are you from? Okay, that's nice. Yeah,
Off.
that's nice.
Dublin girl, I think.
Alright, Dublin means black. Sister,
Damn.
sister. Alright, so we have to keep the commandments. Did you know that? Did you know that, Elder? Yeah, Elder with the glasses and the hat, and the phone, on the FaceTime. Yo, big man. Alright, let's get Proverbs 14 verse 12. And Proverbs 30 verse 16.
Dub.
What country are you from? Country.
Ghana.
Okay, you got 2 minutes for the Bible. Yeah, come then. Late for what? What are you late for? Yeah. Yeah, well, you can't turn up late to the wedding, man. You might not get let in.
You're there trying to put
Go on.
everything on the last minute.
Book of Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
Right, so man, the so-called Brazilian brother, he's mighty, man, from the kingdom of Israel. Yes, brother, what country are you from? What kingdom are you from? Huh? What kingdom are you from? Where? Kingston. Did you say Kingston? Right. So there's certain ways that might seem right. There's certain ways that seem right unto us. And that mighty brother, right? He knew and understood that eating pork, that seemed right unto him. But we know we have a temple of God, which is our bodies. And that no matter what, we have to keep the commandments. And if the word of God says we should not be eating these unclean foods, it's what we have to do. You have to, it's Psalms 119 verse 60, right? The brother was in the spirit, man. Right? All praise to the Most High. Most High when he raised up his household in righteousness. Go on.
This is Proverbs chapter 30 verse 16. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough.
Right. So these are the things that, you know, they never get filled. The grave never gets filled. There's more than enough soil upon the earth for people that want to sin. Right? So don't think you can just get away with what you want to do. Like there's not enough ground for you. Like, no, there's enough ground for you to get put away from this earth, or put into the earth, I'll say. Yeah, what country are you from? What country are you from?
Ghana.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know, Ireland. There's enough grave for everybody. I don't think, oh yeah, they're running out of space to bury people. No, there's enough grave for everyone. Let's start at verse 15.
Proverbs chapter 30 verse 15. The horse leech have two daughters, crying, give, give. There are three things that are never satisfied.
Right, there's three things that are never satisfied. Brother, yo, Rasta, you got 2 minutes for God? 2 minutes for the Bible, come. Yeah, that's one of my people, yeah. So there's three things that are not satisfied, go on.
Yea, four things say not, it is enough.
And the fourth is gonna say, you know, there's never enough. Go on.
The grave.
Right, the grave. That's the first thing that is never satisfied. The grave is never satisfied. There's always enough people from, doesn't matter what race you are, there's always enough people to fill up the grave. There's always enough people to fill up the grave for their sins, right? There's never going to be, we run out of land, you know, we don't know what to do with the sinners, you know, God's like, where we're going to put them. No, he knows exactly where to put them. Everyone's got their spot. Everyone's got their place. We all came from the earth. So we can always go back there, right? Yes, we know.
And the barren womb.
And the barren womb, man, right? Meaning if the Most High has cursed you or not blessed you to be able to have children, then the sperm cells are not going to be enough. Go on. So everything is of the Most High. Every increase, sister, every increase is going to be of the Most High, right? So when you have children, it's the Most High. I was thinking about it the other day, right? When you have a child, you know, the woman's not doing all the work to form the child, man. That's the Most High. And things have to be so perfect for a child to be born, man. There's so much intricacies, so much specifications to children, man. Right, to babies, to people, to humans in general, and how much so it is, like how specific that we are made. Sisters, you got 2 minutes for the Bible, sisters. Do you guys have 2 minutes for the Bible? All right, go on.
The earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough.
Sister in the yellow jacket. Right, the fire says it's not enough, right? Because in these last days, there will be fire. Let's get Luke 17, verse 29. Go on.
Psalms 119 and verse 60.
Yeah, sister, you got 2 minutes for the Bible?
Wow.
You don't? You don't believe in God? Why do you have 2 minutes for the Bible then?
The book of Psalms, chapter 19 and verse 60. I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
Right, so like brother was saying, you don't want to be late to keep the commandments. You want to make haste, so you make it in time for salvation. You want to make it in time for the day of the Lord and His coming. Because it's going to come when no man's thinking about it, when no one's really noticing. And right now we're coming up to those days, we're coming up to that time. Let's get 2 Thessalonians, right, chapter 2, and then verse 10.
This is Luke chapter 17, verse 29. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven. Fire and brimstone from heaven.
Right, so the fire is not enough. You think, you know, there wasn't enough fire to burn down Sodom. There was more than enough fire to burn down Sodom, right? And it burned that place, and it's a memorial now. Now people, when they think of Sodom, they're thinking of fire, and they're thinking of homosexuality, and they're thinking of fornication. So the Lord has enough fire for the world, right? That was just a sign, just a glimpse for what's going to happen in the end days, right? In the end days, there will be fire sent upon the earth. Go on.
And destroyed them all. And destroyed them all.
So the fire destroyed them all. So the fire was there for everyone, right? The Lord had enough fire to burn down everyone in Sodom and Gomorrah. Now let's get Isaiah chapter 1. We'll start at verse 8, right? Sister, you got 2 minutes for the Bible? What country are you from? You have time for the words of God? You know our people need to repent, man. You know we need to keep the commandments and come out of wickedness. Yeah, go on.
This is Isaiah chapter 1 verse 8. And the daughter of Zion.
Yes, brother. What country are you from?
Nigeria.
Alright, what does Nigeria mean? We're not Muslim. Did you know Nigeria means black?
God said, peace be unto you. Stole that from the Bible.
Right.
God.
Christ said shalom.
Right.
Right, which means peace be unto you.
God damn,
He said that.
Assalamu
Right? Sister, do you know Hebrew? You don't know Hebrew? Do you know Hebrew? Alright, we need to come back to our language. Our language would be the Hebrew tongue. That is our language. We need to go back to the ways of God. Did you know that? I know you know that, little brother. He wants to come back to the ways of God. He's looking for the ways. As a mother, you got to teach a child the ways of God, the commandments. You can't just teach a child that he's just black. He's just a nigger. You can't teach a child that, man.
Right.
He's going to grow up to be what?
A nigger.
To replicate what he sees in boys in the hood, man. Right? You want to replicate righteousness. You can't just replicate GTA characters. Yeah, sister. What was that? You gotta be careful nowadays, man. You don't know who your ops are nowadays, man.
And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city.
That's how we're left, man. We've been neglected. Yes, brother, what country you from? Brother, come on, man. What country you from? Yeah, what country though? Okay. So, are you Muslim? Are you Christian? What? Okay. How did Islam get to Sierra Leone? Do you know? But it's something you're following, and you say you are Muslim.
Right.
So you want to know why you are that thing? You going to work? Okay, so what I would say is that Islam came from the Arabs, and you're not an Arab. It's an Arab man's religion, and that's not something that you want to be following, because you know Arabs are the people who put your people into slavery. Okay, but just remember you're not a Muslim, man. Alright? And please, I just don't want anything you have to offer. Right, like that pastor said, I've got enough at home. Sister!
Okay.
Sister!
Okay, sister. I'm welcome, Pastor, yeah?
Alright, so
Where am
it's
I
freedom.
from? Irish. What's the difference?
Verse 11. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 11. Oh, verse 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
So if it wasn't for the mercies of the Lord, we would have ended up like Sodom and Gomorrah. We would have got burnt down with fire and brimstone. We would have got destroyed. Did you know that, sister? You know how people need to repent? Have you heard of the Israelites? Come and give us 2 minutes for the Bible, man. Come and learn your history and your heritage. Do you know what your heritage is? You know what your history is?
What's going on?
I don't know. I'm not even. Like I said, I'm good, man. I'm good. So we need to find out what our heritage is.
What's going on?
Right? You got wickedness over there, right? In the crack spot over there, and I'm trying to defile the men of God. Yes, brother. You have 2 minutes for the word of God. Yeah. So what we're saying is that if God didn't have mercy upon us, God would have killed us all. You know that? So the reason God has mercy on us is because of His love for us. Because you know about Sodom and Gomorrah, I got burnt down. Do you know why I got burnt down? Let's read that verse first.
Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
Right. The Israelites, they should have been like Sodom and Gomorrah for their evil, because they were doing what was happening in Sodom, which is fornication, right? And our people are committing a lot of fornication, right? They don't even want to get married to their women, right? They just want to. I remember, I think I asked someone, I don't know if you know the guy that rides his bike up and down, and he plays the music, right? Quite popular. Right? I asked him what he, I think roughly paraphrasing what his purpose is in life. He said his purpose is to F gal. Yeah. That's what he said. That's what he said, isn't it? He said, I asked him like, what do you like, or something like that. He said, oh yeah, you see, you love football. He's like, you love football? I was like, yeah, same way I love fuck yeah. That's what he said. That's what our people like.
That's his purpose.
Right, that's yeah, man. He thinks he's a buck. Alright? So God said that our people are likened unto Sodom and Gomorrah. Because that's what our people do, man. Just want to freak off with anything and anything. Right? because we're around these other nations, and that's what they teach us. Because that's what the white man, he likes to do. He likes to freak off with all types of nature. If a white man could, he will sleep with that tree right there. Right? He probably does it. You know, late at night, if you hear at 4 a.m., that's probably what he's doing.
Yeah.
Alright? He's probably, yeah, man. So, we can't follow their ways. Because we're not built like them. We don't want to be acting like them. God made us holy and separate. He said if we continue in our wickedness, we would end up like Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, we would get burnt down with fire because God made us. And as a creator of something, if something that you've created is not fulfilling its purpose, then you might as well just throw it in the bin. Same way with us. If we're not fulfilling the purpose, then God might as well just dash us away. So what would you say our purpose is? I hope you have a better answer than that, bro. What would you say that our purpose is?
Our purpose is, well, you know, say, we is for God. God make we on the earth to serve Him. Yeah? And if we are going to do bad things, we is for Satan. And we don't want to do bad things. We want to do the right things that God put you on the earth, you know, yeah? Like what you're doing at the moment. Yeah?
And most are willing you can do that too. I'm going to show you in the Bible what God said that He requires of us. Go on.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments. Keep His commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
That's our whole duty. To fear God, remember who your creator is, and keep His laws, keep His commandments. That's what our duty is. Make sure we're fulfilling our responsibilities upon the earth. We have to keep the commandments. You know what the commandments are? You heard of them? Yeah. You're from Jamaica, right? Yeah. So I know you know some commandments. Because I know there's something in the spirit that wants to do what God says to do. You know, I know there's something humble in the spirit where you know that there's a heavenly Father above you, and you have to fear Him and do what He tells you to do. And that's what makes you a man. You're a man when you're following the order of the Most High God. That's what gives you strength, right? People that aren't following God and doing whatever they want, they're just boys, right? Because they don't know structure and order. So, do you know any commandments, by the way, though? That's what I'm asking.
Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, you're ringing them off, man. No praises. So that means so you have some of them kind of laid up in your mind, and that's what you're meant to do. Lay these words up in your mind, right? And that's a very important thing to do, because when it's in your mind, then you can act on it and make sure you're keeping it. So that's a good thing. I'm gonna show you a couple more. Let's get Deuteronomy 14, right? And starting at verse 8. I'm gonna show you a couple more. I think you'll be keeping some of them. You might be keeping all of these ones I'm about to mention, but there's probably some more I definitely think, I can recommend you. Go on.
Deuteronomy chapter 14 verse 8. And the swine, because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean to you.
So God said the swine is unclean to us.
Yeah.
You don't eat swine, do you?
No.
Oh, praise. I had a feeling. Because you look healthy. You look like you're in shape. Because if you had swine, you probably have a pot belly.
No meat.
No, I had a feeling in that no meat, man. No praise to the Most High. Yeah? So you are a Rasta? Or you just, what you want?
I'm just a Whirlian at the moment.
A what?
Whirlian.
A whirlian?
Yeah.
Where you follow the world?
Not follow the world. I'm just in the world and just do the right thing in the world. You understand? I'm not follow rigid line like Rastafari, You understand me?
Let's get 1 John 2:15. I'll give you a precept. 1 John 2:15. I'm going to show you what God said. Yeah. Right, so I hear what you're saying. Shalom. I hear what you're saying, and it's good, because a lot of the meat that we eat, it's defiled. Yeah. It shouldn't be eating any pork. So I was going to tell you that we shouldn't be eating any pork, but you don't eat that, so praise, that's good. And something that we shouldn't be eating as well is prawns, octopus, squid, crab, lobster, mussels, oysters, all of them things. They're all things that don't have fins and scales. You shouldn't be eating those either. So if you were to eat a meat, or you were to eat a fish, have some sea bass, some salmon, some cod or something. If you do eat fish, don't crack open no lobster and start sucking it out, man. That's disgusting. Yeah, go on.
1 John, the book of 1 John chapter 2 and 15. And it reads, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
God said, don't love the world and the things that are in the world. Because what are the things that are in the world? Right? Sin, fornication. Do you smoke weed?
Yeah.
That's of the world. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It's not of the Father. So obviously God created the plant. Let's get Sirach 38 verse 4. God created the plant. But he didn't say you have to take it up and pull it in a Rizla paper, you know, build it up into a cone shape, you know, pat it down, and then light it and inhale it into the bottom of your lungs, and then roll your eyes back and blow it out. Where's that in the Bible? He didn't say you do that, right?
No.
Go on.
In the Bible, but,
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 4. The Lord have created medicines out of the earth. The Lord have created medicines out of the earth.
So he did create medicines out of the earth, right? In the earth, you have all types of plants, and I know you're familiar, as a Jamaican, I'm sure you know that all of the herbs upon the earth, right, they have medicinal purposes and uses for it, and you can use them for healing and all types of properties. So when you want to use a plant as medicine, how do you do that? Let's say you're sick.
yeah, maybe you drink it, boil it, and drink it, and
I'm glad you said that. You drink it and boil it. So bear that in mind. Let's read on. So the Lord made medicines out of the earth. Go on.
And he that is wise will not abhor them.
So abhor means to hate. So you wouldn't hate the things that the Most High has grown. So I'm not telling you to hate any plant that the Most High has grown out of the earth, because everything has its medicinal purpose, right? Even marijuana would have its medicinal purpose if used correctly, right? But here's how God said to do with it. Go on.
Was not the water made sweet with wood?
Right, wood is another way of saying a plant or a tree. Like if you go down to the woods, you're going down to the forest where the trees are. So wood is the tree or the plant. It says, was water not made sweet with the wood? So in order for you to get the properties out of a tree or a plant, like you said, you drink it and boil it. I mean, you add the water to it. If you want to get the properties out of a medicine, this is the context, then you add the water to the medicine in order to get the properties out. So if you wanted to get the properties, the medicinal usage out of the things that are on the earth, you add the water to it, just like everything else.
Right.
Right? You don't, oh, I'm sick, let me light up some moringa. Right? Start smoking moringa because I'm sick. I'm smoking Cersei because I got a bad belly. You don't do that.
that is not the right way.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, smoking peppermint tea. You got a cold, so you're smoking lemon and ginger.
That's where you're great. Well then, come on, never love no blessing.
All praises, yeah.
Because we don't want to get no ticket to park up the way over there.
I hear that, yeah.
This is more better still, but you don't know.
I hear you, man. Yeah, I'm not getting to tell you get a ticket.
Yes, sir.
Right. Remember, you be an Israelite though, yeah? Israelite.
That's right.
All praises to the Most High. We're not here to be lighting any fire to anything, right? But our spirits, right? Our spirits are the only thing that should be on fire, right? Not zoots, not spliffs, right? We're not here to put fire in any heathens, right? That's not our job, right? We're not here to punish anyone. We're not here to tell anyone that they're going to hell. We're just here to proclaim righteousness and tell our people to stop smoking, man.
That's right.
Tell our people to come out of the bad habits that they got.
Right.
They may not know. They may have learned from the world that having weed and inhaling it and smoking it was the right way to do. They may have that's what they may have known. They may have thought that was the right way. Because a lot of people they grow quite old, man, and they still smoke, and they're wondering, oh, maybe that's the way to go. No, man, that's the mercies of the Lord that has you alive. Right? That's not, you can't put your trust. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12. Yes, brother. Bro. Just on your own thing, your own way in life. You got it?
The Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12.
Yes, brother. You got 2 minutes for the Bible.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, brother. Just acting like you just don't hear, like you just. Yeah,
Let that be a gunshot, dude.
Yeah.
Not everyone can hear, fam.
Might have to kind of play it through the speaker, and then every black person hears a gunshot. Yo, what country you from? What country? Yeah, you. What country you from? Who said that? Oh, okay. Huh? Yeah, I'm saying they be in the crooks and the crevices, man. Like, you don't know where they are. Yeah, they just condense and evaporate at any time. Right? They just, yeah, sister, do you believe in God?
I do, darling.
What country are you from? Alright, so why are do you have a Caribbean husband? See that?
He is Caribbean, apparently.
Yes, brother. You got 2 minutes for the Bible. You can put that box down and hear the words of God, man. Alright, so yeah, let's get wisdom of Solomon.
It's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 12.
Right.
For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaister that restored them to health.
Right, so it's not herbs. Herbs don't bring you to health. They can help you in your way. A plaster can help you in your way if you're, you need something, if you have a wound, you can bandage yourself up. But the bandage doesn't form into a scar. There's something else under that is actually healing you. It's not the wound that's sealing your body together. No, there's actually, the Most High put, wisdom and understanding even in our cells, in our body, that He can tell our cells that our bodies need fixing. Right? So it's not, you can't put your trust in a herb, and you can't put your trust even in any wounds healing that you may use, because it's all of the Most High God. When you get cut and you get a scar, you know that the Most High God is working, man, because we don't make ourselves form a scab. When all the tissues start forming back together again, that's not. So we can't put our trust in my plaster did that. Or you're sick and you come back to health. Oh, that's because I drank tea. No, it's not because you drank that tea, man. Your lemon and ginger might help you in your symptoms and that. Yeah, what country are you from? Where? What tribe? You got 2 minutes for the Bible? Are you Christian? Come and give us 2 minutes, man.
From Debo Spirit.
Yeah, what tribe? Are you Tigrinya? Okay, so how do you feel about slavery?
At this time?
Huh?
At this time or the first between? At the first or now?
Slavery, any type of slavery. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Right now, I don't think there is a slavery. But before the first year,
Okay, why do you think it happened to black people? Why do you think that happened?
I think that happened because the race between some people
So, you're familiar that in Ethiopia, you have people that descend from Cush. You know who Cush is?
the South, yeah, I know that.
So your people don't come from Cush, do they?
From what my father told me, my people they are Habash. It's mixed from Jerusalem, kingdom of Solomon. You know Solomon.
Yeah.
Yeah. During that time, there was mixed with that type.
Do you know what King Solomon looks like? Let's get Song of Solomon 105. Let's read that Genesis 10 verse 6.
Book of Genesis chapter 10 and verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim, and Phut and Canaan.
So these are the sons of Ham. So Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So the sons of Ham, that's where you had Cush.
Right.
So you have Cushitic people. And if your people don't come from Cush, and you're not Hamites, it means you come from Shem. Right? And there's a special chosen people that come from Shem. So, and those chosen people will be the Hebrews. Right? The children of Israel. They come from Shem. Right? So you have Israelites, the children of Israel, that come out of the lineage of Shem and not out of Cush. So some people, they may call themselves Cushitic to distinguish themselves from the Israelites. Let's get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. Go on.
The Songs of Solomon, chapter 1 and 5. I am black, but comely.
King Solomon said that he's black and comely, right? And you see an image of him there. Right? That's what King Solomon looks like. He was dark skinned. So a lot of people, they put up the notion that in order for black people to come out of an Israelite lineage in King Solomon that they had to be mixing with Africans. No, King Solomon was already dark-skinned. He didn't need to mix with anyone in order to produce dark-skinned offspring. All of his children would be dark-skinned, right? He had an Egyptian wife. He had all types of wives.
Right.
Yeah, he had, you know, Aksum Kingdom. They had wife from the, that's what you can't forget, the tech.
I mean, they. So you're referring to Sheba, Queen of Sheba. That's not entirely true, right? That's something that was made up, right? But in actuality, he didn't take that woman as a wife. There's no account of that happening.
Right.
She just came to hear the wisdom, and then went back to where she's from. So there's no account of that. But what we do know is King Solomon was black anyway, right? And he was an Israelite. And what did God say about the Israelites? We're going to read a curse that would happen to the Israelites for their sins. Go on.
Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 64. And it reads, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other."
So what we do know is that the Israelites, they'll be scattered all throughout the earth. They're not just going to be, just in Israel, especially if they're in sin. If they're keeping the commandments, they'll be in Israel. But if they're in sin, God said he will scatter them all over the earth. So there's a people that have been scattered all around the world. Yeah. So there's a people that have been scattered all around the world. And God called those people Israelites. The children of Israel were prophesied to be scattered all around the world. Right? Because of their disobedience, that's something that would happen. Because Israel, the land itself, is like a home. And if you're rebellious as a child, you get kicked out. So the Israelites got kicked out of their home, right, by their Heavenly Father. And that's why our people have been scattered all around the earth. So the Israelites, they were scattered, how? Through slavery. Right, let's read on.
"And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there shalt thou serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known."
So in the lands that the Israelites would be scattered to, it was prophesied that they would serve other gods. So what I'm trying to tell you and show you, like I said, King Solomon and all the Israelites, in their origin, they will be dark-skinned people. Right? All of these people up here, you're going to see are children of Israel. Right? They were dark-skinned people. Right? They wouldn't be white. That would be a lie.
Right.
Say that again, sorry. So the people that we're talking about that are Jewish in the land of Israel today, they don't link up with these things, right? And we're gonna see, like for example, King Solomon said he's black. So how can these people be from the lineage of King Solomon? I have anything to do with him. We look nothing like him. When King Solomon, he would look like the rest of the Jews, the rest of the Israelites. King Solomon would look like King David, right? Who would look like King Saul, who would look like Moses, who would look like every single child of Israel. King Solomon was dark skinned. So all the Israelites would be dark skinned, right? Let's get Deuteronomy 28, start verse 15. You say? Alright, so we'll be here if you want to come back. Alright?
Excuse me, brother. Which religion you speak about?
So we're speaking just straight from the Bible. So I wouldn't really say, huh? We're talking about the Israelites. What country are you from?
I'm Polish. Polish citizen.
Okay.
But I am Christian.
Okay, that's good. What about you, brother?
I'm a Muslim brother.
And what country are you from?
From Somalia.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're just preaching out the Bible. So
God bless you guys.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm really honored by that. Yes, sister. I know you got 2 minutes for the Bible.
I do all the
Yeah,
time.
I know.
I've got the kids in the car, so it's
Oh
not really.
yeah, I hear you.
Do
Do
a prayer for me, yeah?
Alright, what's your name?
Christy.
Alright. Looking after your child is keeping the commands. So I ain't gonna stop now from that. You know what I'm saying? Harlesden's a scary place, man. Scary place. You know, God knows what's happening in these alleyways and all types of stuff. Sister, you got 2 minutes for the Bible? You have 2 minutes for the words of the Most High God? Yeah, you come.
Just 2 minutes, sis.
Yeah, man, I know Harlesden's scary and it's night time, you gotta keep it moving, but hey, man, that's why we're here, man.
It's only because it's
Right?
winter.
Oh, I bet you have. Yeah?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I'm seriously, I'm in recovery.
Oh,
And part
okay.
of it is getting in touch with a higher power.
What about you, Elder? Do you have time for God, Elder?
Elder.
Elder with a hat, with a Kango. What's that? I mean, it happens, man. It happens. Let's get Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. And this is why it happens. It's prophesied in the Bible that this would happen. Right? Do you guys follow the Bible? Do you follow the Bible?
Yeah.
You do? So, what country are you guys from? Congo? Congo? How do you feel about Mandela?
Okay.
Okay? Well, let's see what God said. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 8. Right? Because not everyone's the same. Right? Let's get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Actually, you can keep that.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam.
So the sons of Adam, the children that are offspring came of Adam, like everyone. We all come from Adam, but everyone's different. He separated everyone. Right? And who did he separate and sanctify? Let's see.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people.
So he made everyone, and then he took a portion, right? So he made everything, but then he chose something that said, that's mine though, right? And that's something that people miss. That yes, he's created everything, but there's something that God has chosen. Like for example, you have friends, right? But you have a best friend, right? So likewise, God has people on the earth that he's made, but he has his favorite people, and God called them what? Go read that again.
For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Right. Jacob will be the Israelites, right? So the Israelites are God's chosen people. Let's get Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And let's see what God said about the Israelites. Go on.
Book of Baruch, chapter 2 and verse 30. And it reads, For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
Right. God said that the Israelites are stiff-necked. You know what stiff-necked means? Right, it means you don't want to turn around. Right, you're looking, you're very tunnel vision. Right, meaning they don't care about anything that God is saying. God is speaking to them, and they only want to go that way. Right, they only want to go into the way of smoking weed, fornication, parties, house parties, drugs, and wickedness. That's where they want to go. Right, that's something that would happen. That's what the Israelites were like. Let's read on.
For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
Right, and who's more stiff-necked and stubborn than our people? Right? God said the Israelites would be a stubborn people. Go on.
But in the land of their captivities.
It says in the land of their captivity, because the Israelites, they were prophesied to go in captivity. You know what that means, captivity? You got Deuteronomy. Oh, you got. Then you get Deuteronomy 28. Okay, you get Deuteronomy 28. That's 41. So you're not sure what it means? You never heard of it? Have you heard of captivity before?
Can I say something?
Hold on.
You just said, who wants to hear God? I've walked over.
Are you not listening?
No, I'm not.
Oh, then don't.
Because you're not looking me in the eye, you're not listening to me.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? You've called me over, and now you're talking to these people. You're not even looking me in the eye, brother.
Alright.
Yeah, later on.
Alright,
Be
later.
careful for the ones that shout out about the Christians they are.
That's lovely, yeah.
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 Like you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, who wants to hear God? I walk over and you ignore me.
Lovely. So let's read what the Bible is saying.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
Captivity, that's where you get the word capture from. So if someone's captured, you take them, you capture them, you kidnap them, and you bring them into slavery, that's captivity. When you take someone's sons and your daughters and you capture them, that's captivity. So what people went into captivity that you know and that went into slavery? What people have you ever heard of in history ever going into slavery? and captivity.
Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, Harriet Tubman. And what race is she?
He's black.
Right, so you heard of black people going into slavery, right? God said that his people, the Israelites, will go into slavery. Have you heard of the Israelites before? Have you? You have. What do you know about the Israelites? Right, they were meant to be following God. But let's go to verse 15, Deuteronomy 28 and 15. I feel like I know I've got a lot. You can pretty much drop that. You get Deuteronomy 7 and you can drop your Deuteronomy 7.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
It's about the Israelites.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day.
This is what the Israelites had to do. Like you were saying, they had to be followers of God. Following God meant to do what he actually said. You can't follow someone, you can't say Lord, Lord, and not do the things that you're told. Right? You can't say that you love your parents and never do anything they said for you to do. Right? Your parents say go shop and get me some milk and you didn't go and do it. You don't love them, man. Right? Your parents said turn off the game, right? Come off your phone and you don't do it. You don't love them. You show your love by your actions. Right? God said that he wants us to show his love for him by doing his commandments. That's how we follow him. Did you know that? You agree with that? All right. And this is what God said to the Israelites, that they should follow the commandments. And this is what would happen if they didn't follow the commandments. Go on.
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So curses would happen to them. You know what a curse is? Exactly. Something bad would happen to the Israelites. All right. Let's go to verse 33.
This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 33.
So remember I asked you about the Mandela. We're going to see what the Mandela did in the Bible.
The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
Right, it says the fruit of your land and all your labors shall a nation which you don't know is going to take it up. Right, so the fruit of your land means the produce of your land.
Cobalt.
Right, so the things that are grown or produced in your land, another nation is going to come and take that away from your people. And all your labors, everything you've worked for, another nation, right, like the nation he comes from, is going to take those things away, right, and use that and then give that to their people. So everyone else, the things that grows in their land, like the Arabs, they got a lot of oil, right? They take that and then they get rich, and then they buy football teams for billions of pounds,
Sure.
right, and win Premier Leagues after season, right? The Indians, they got their spices, right? Their Bengali spices going on. They get rich off that. They start going into London and making chicken and chip shops and selling them to black people,
Hair shops.
right? And they get black people hair products and sell them onto black people. There's no black people selling Indians anything, but they sell stuff to us, right? Because the things that they get rich off in their land, they can benefit off that, right? Every nation, the Chinese, they're the highest exporting people, right? They export everything that comes out of their land, all their produce. They make the most of that. But black people, our people, and who God called the Israelites, he said that what they grow in their land, because of their sins, they're not going to be able to benefit from it, because another nation, a nation which thou knowest not, is going to come and take it away from you, right? Because that's something that happened to the Congolese. What tribe are you guys from? What tribe in Congo?
Back Congo.
You as well? You guys sisters?
No, first person.
Okay, well, praises. But you guys are sisters in the spirit, though. Most High would. God said that the Israelites, this would be that the same things that happened to them happen to your people, right? Are you familiar with Congolese history and Congolese affairs that's going on today? What do you know about Congolese stuff that's going on? Explain to me.
Basically, what happened between Congo and Rwanda, how Rwanda
Jesus Lord.
Right. That's a good point. That's what's going on at the moment. That's been going on for years. I've heard also of King Leopold. You haven't heard of King Leopold? If someone could look up King Leopold real quick. What did King Leopold do in Congo? Let's find out what he did. Did he go there? Did he give everyone lollipops and hugs? Did he give everyone a golden ticket to the chocolate factory? Let's see what he did. Alright. Hey, he give out turkeys to the neighborhoods.
A little bit more about what you're doing, brother.
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing, actually.
You're not focusing on me, though, are you, mate?
Why for that?
Huh?
Okay.
Fraud, mate. You're a fraud, brother.
Yeah, I take...
Because you said, who wants to listen, who wants to hear the word, and you wouldn't look me in the eye, mate.
King Leopold in Congo implemented a forced labor system. A forced labor system.
Leopold implemented a forced labor system. Right? Got that villain law.
That Dr. Eggman spirit.
Yeah, man. Some of them, it's a Marvel character, man.
Implemented a forced labor system in the Congo that was quickly copied by other European colonial powers.
Right, so he was the first. He showed, he showed, how Nigeria and Ghana should get colonized. When they came to Congo and they tried it out first, and he went and freaked off there. Is that more on it?
This brutal practice was a catastrophe for the population of the Congo.
And let's look up how many people he killed. So he came and he induced labor in the country. So it's in the other poster. But so what they did is made the Congolese people work, and if they didn't work, then he would hurt them, in severe ways, and have severe punishments and tortures for them. Right? Congo was a very populous place, but he decreased the population. You got that?
As a result of which as many as 10 million people died. 10 million people died in the Congo state.
Right. So as a result of King Leopold, over 10 million people, and you can't really count that, right? But that's minimum. 10 million people died in the Congo. So the reason for the conflict that's there today is because King Leopold, who was a Belgian, he went there almost 200 years ago and made all of that conflict escalate and sowed the seed for that conflict that's happening today. Because if you kill 10 million people, how many 10 million is, man? Like, I can't even think, how to even make you picture that. How many 10 million is, right? Imagine your school, it probably has a few hundred in there, right? That's your school times like a million, or no, 100,000. That's 100,000 schools, right? Of innocent children, because he was going for children as well. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 49. He was going for the young ones and the older ones. He was going for everyone. Right, and that's why these other nations, these European nations, are so rich today, because they went into our lands and then abused our people. But the way that they treated our people is different to how they dealt with the Chinese. So the Chinese, like I said, their exports are doing well, they're prospering, but they're not European, but they still allow them to do well. But there's something that they have towards us, that they treat us very, very much more bad than everyone else.
Yeah. So I got the letter in it. Right? So this is a letter from King Leopold II of Belgium to colonial missionaries in 1883. It says, "Reverend fathers, dear compatriots, the task that is given to fulfill is very delicate and requires much tact. You will go certainly to evangelize, but your evangelization must inspire above all Belgian interests. Your principal objective in our mission in the Congo is never to teach the niggers to know God. This they already know. They speak and submit to a Mungu, one Zambi, one Zambe, and what else I don't know. They know that to kill, to sleep with someone else's wife, to lie, to insult is bad. However, have courage to admit it. You are not going to teach them what they already know. What they know already. Can't.
So, people in the Congo already knew about God. Already knew that you're meant to follow God and His ways. So when the Europeans came, They didn't come to teach about God.
Right.
Right? That's what they try and make it out like they were trying to do, that they were trying to civilize people. Like everyone was just wearing grass skirts and just swinging from trees like Tarzan. Right? But Tarzan's white. Right? So our people weren't doing that. Right? Swinging like monkeys, man. That's what they're trying to say. Right? We don't even have the attributes of monkeys.
Right.
Right? We are plain people. We are clean. We wash ourselves. We're hygienic. We cook our food. Right? Monkeys don't cook their food, but we like cooked food. You don't like your meat with blood dripping out of it, do you? Some people do. Some people like that. You know, they like their raw meat. Some people don't. And most all praises you don't. So let's get Deuteronomy 28 and then verse 49.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49.
Remember, this is all about the Israelites.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Right. So, French being official language in Congo is recent. That was a language originally people didn't understand. Again, this is something that happened to the Israelites, but now people are calling themselves Congolese, Nigerian, Ghanaian, Trinidadian. God says we're the Israelites. Read on.
A nation of fierce countenance.
So the nation that came was fierce. And what King Leopold did was fierce. He killed over 10 million of your brothers and sisters. Having, read on.
Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
So you can look it up, and you can see that there's images of young children that he would chop off their hands for not producing enough rubber for him.
Right.
And that's what they would do as a punishment, right? Basically saying, look, since you're not using your hands, we're going to chop you off your hands. Right? That's what Muslims do, man.
See that?
Right? We shouldn't be chopping off people's hands, right? That's not in the Bible. Why didn't Jesus chop off people's hands, right? For not doing enough work, right? That's what King Leopold was doing. That's why I asked, how do you feel about the Mandela? Because the Bible speaks about what they will come and do to the Congolese. But God didn't call them Congolese, he called you guys Israelites. You know?
Right. And verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind.
So he's going to take everything. He's not going to leave you any increase. That's exactly what they came to do. No other nation can relate to exactly what we just described happened to the Congolese. Right? Let's read Deuteronomy 29 verse 1. I'm going to prove who this Bible and who what we're reading in Deuteronomy 28 is all written to and about. And it tells you after in 29 verse 1.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 29 verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
So these words that we're reading about, let's get Revelation 1 and 14. These words that we're reading about are all about the words that were made as a covenant between God and the children of Israel. All these things that we're reading only relate to our people because we are the children of Israel. That's something that we have not heard in the Christian churches. We are the Israelites. We are God's chosen people. And he made these things happen to us, and it's in the Bible. We have to come back to the scriptures. We have to come back to this word. Right? Go on. And we're going to see what the Bible also says about Christ. Do you know what Jesus looks like? So, bearing in mind that we are actually the Israelites and Jesus is an Israelite, what do you think he must look like? If Jesus is an Israelite and we're Israelites, what must he look like? Huh? Exactly. Right. Exactly. And it's actually in the Bible, and a lot of people, right, don't like to hear it or like to hide it in the book of Revelation. Go on.
Book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. And it reads, his head and his hairs were white like wool.
So Jesus had woolly texture hair. What type of people have woolly texture hair? Like a sheep. Exactly. It's about Jesus Christ. He had woolly hair. That's in the Bible. Go on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
It says his feet, right? The color of his feet, his skin was brass. What color is brass with a B? Exactly. So his skin color is brown. It's in the Bible. Go on.
And his feet were like unto fine brass, as if they were burned in a furnace.
And it was dark brown, right? Like he'd been burned. So this is something that, you know, Christians can't explain that and then still say that he's a white man. No one can do that. Prophecy shows that we are the Israelites. The text itself reveals in a descriptive level what Christ looks like, and many others, that all the Israelites, they were originally black people. Jesus, he was dark skinned, he had woolly hair, just like your father does.
That's right.
Right? He is one of our people, like you proclaim. So we need to make sure that we're doing the things that we're meant to be doing, so that these things that have happened to us, that the God that made these things happen for our disobedience isn't angry at us anymore. We want to turn away from that, because now what we're doing, why God has made this happen, is so that we can learn about the power of God. Right? A lot of people, they don't want to hear the power of God, because like I said, our people are stiff-necked. So if our people are stiff-necked and you don't listen, God is going to make people listen, and he's going to make you listen by you're not being able to prosper. Your people, unfortunately, there's a lot of people only hear one thing, and that's death. That's the only time people want to listen, when it comes to a life or death situation. And because God has put us in that, now we can learn. Look, Most High God put us in slavery. We want to make sure that God isn't that angry at us again, because God is going to be angry at the inhabitants of the world if they're defiling the world. Look at all the things that's going on in the world. We don't want to get caught up in social media and TV and stuff and take away from what's actually happening. There's wars happening right now. Have you heard about that? What wars have you heard about that's happening right now?
There's one in
Yeah. Yeah. What did you say?
I said there's one in Israel and Palestine.
Exactly, yeah. There's missiles going around the place. If we don't have the protection of the Heavenly Father and the Most High God, we will be destroyed.
Right.
We are not going to be able to abide in the day of these plagues. Let's get 2nd Ezra 16, verse 6. We won't be able to abide. All right, there's so many things sent upon the earth. Let's get 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 50.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 6. 6, yeah? May any man drive away any hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it have begun to burn.
So right now, there's a fire that started upon the earth. That's why you're seeing the wars. So now that fire has started, it's going to surely, set fire to the rest of the world. So as you're seeing what's happening in Israel and Palestine, don't think that this will never happen here. There'll never be a war here. So people are talking about World War III a lot. Have you heard of the term World War III? What's World War I and World War II? When was that? Are you been listening to history? Yeah, that's World War I. And World War II, that was not too long after, 1939 to 1945. So all these things happened in the last 100 or so years. 2 world wars, right? 2. That's not that long ago. So here in this very country, you actually had bombs being dropped, right? I believe in this very borough, you had bombs dropped upon this borough by Germans, right? With planes, hovering over and dropping bombs upon buildings, man. This happens, right? They tried to build. Let's get Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. They tried to build up the desolate places, man. After World War II, they tried to build everything back up, but it's not going to be as easy as that. Let's get that.
It says Malachi.
That's my brother. You good?
Good.
Yeah,
How
man.
you doing? You right?
Yeah, man.
It's Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Right, so Edom is another way of saying Mundeli in the Bible. It's saying that we are impoverished, right? Because at one point, so-called white people, they were very poor, right? They used to walk on all fours and live in caves, and cave dwellers. They were very impoverished. And they decided, let us build up the desolate places. Because they used to have a Roman Empire back in the day. And at one point, black people were ruling, man. See these people here, right? Some of these people were living at a time where black people were actually ruling. So, you're familiar with history, so you're familiar with the Middle Ages or the medieval times. You heard of the medieval times or the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so look into that. That is a time when black people were actually in authority at that time, right? For about 1,000 years, black people had authority all around Europe, and it's definitely, especially Africa, right? So in that time period, right, you have people like these people in Russia, right, and Ivan
the Terrible,
Pope Clement, and also other people like Saint Nicholas, man. Right, who they base Santa Claus off, Saint Nicholas, he'll be a so-called black person as well. You had black people, right, from Jesus for over 1,000 years ruling. You got King James over there, right? He was king in England and Scotland, right? He was black, right? That's why they called his son Charles II. They called him Black Boy,
right?
Right, because he was black as well. But they don't like to show you the real images of what these people looked like, right? You see the Moors over there, right? You see in the history of Europe, you see on his European flag right there, that English one, you got black people on there, right? That's what people used to look like, right, around here. And that's how they knew about us, right? They always knew about our people. You can't keep our people down for very long. So they realized that their places are impoverished, and what did they say, go on?
But we will return and build the desolate places.
Right. So that is in the Renaissance era, right? So in around the 1300s, that's when they realized, oh, we're impoverished, we're broke, we're living in caves. We can't even wash ourselves. We're still eating raw meat. That's why. Have you heard of like vampires? That actually comes from real people, from real white people. It's actually, like Dracula. He's real. That's a real man who used to actually eat people. Isn't that right? You guys know about that? Dracula was a real person. He used to eat people. Exactly. See? They know Dracula was real, right? He was a white man around Europe, and he used to drink people's blood, man, and eat people. That's what they used to like to do, right?